success rate. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, chat, we have to work together here, cheering up Chasmac EA because they have to defend first, and Tryhard is attacking first on this one. So let's give our energy to all of those players to perform as good as they can.
And with Tryhard coming in, that early Warden Blimp sending it all the way across, we have the Super Barbarians. And he's used this before. He landed right on top of... Oh, he's calling up the Yetis. Okay, not any Super Archers in here. So Eagle goes down. Monolith goes down as well. Definitely trying to remove this whole compartment. But he was not able to send the balloons towards that multi. But it should be too big of a deal, especially since that defensive range spell tower is now gone.
Yeah, that's always the big deal. Having those spell towers gone, especially with how much impact the Rage Tower has, I feel like that's always a big, important step. Right now, having to deal with the Clan Castle first, already an Archer, which I really like on the far right side to clean things up. I mean, we have seen how many times one building can be the difference maker, so starting to clean up early is always such an important thing. I feel like it's really underestimated. And now he has the Queen keep charging forward into the direction of the Town Hall, and he could use the King or Super Barbarians to push that Queen really into the town compartment, but I think he has already lost quite a few of those healers.
Yeah, he needs to try to keep these as many healers alive as possible, but no balloons here at this point to be able to use to protect them, to test for the Seeking Air Mines, as it looks like some Teslas are popping up near this left side as this Queen can path her way in towards this Town Hall. Maybe use that King to help really set the funnel to push the Queen in as he does invest the Rage. He has another Rage and some more spells, and that's the really nice thing of not taking a Super Archer Blimp, where you have extra spells to utilize for the rest of the attack, where usually the Super Archers require the use of basically all your spells.
Yes, the Super Barbarians are just so good on their own. You have the freeze now for the Town Hall, as he has already lost a couple of healers. The healers otherwise staying alive for now. Roycham doing her job on the far right side. He could add now some cleanup there as well with like one Super Barbarian or something. But the King pushing to that defending Queen is a big deal, especially just tanking the entire back, and the Royal Champ can move in and take down the defenses around the King. While Carbon, I think the Queen just went down though.
Oh, that was fantastic value from the King on the defensive Queen, but yes, with his Queen going down, is it going to cost him this raid? As the healers do transfer off onto the Raw Champion, healing her back up to full health with 4 Super Barbs to use and an Invis. Could he either try to protect the Royal Champion or make the King invisible? Most likely trying to... Oh, with the freeze as well. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, the freeze was as well in his scroll bar. Minions are traveling through the base, and take a look at that. There was one Warbreak, I think, from earlier.
Oh. No, he could have made the King...
Oh, he becomes invisible. But the King is invisible.
No!
Right now, it's 1 building difference again. Okay, it's 3 buildings, but it's just so close.
Oh, 97% right there. So close to try hard. He came just this. He just needs a little bit more to be able to get that done. And if the Queen stayed alive, obviously it would have been able to get a 3-star. The Queen's damage would have helped out so much. Unfortunately, didn't have the back and cleanup. Maybe just a few more Super Barbarians. You never know when it comes down to that. You know, he would have attacked that base again. It probably would have got either really close or would have been a triple. Very nice try there to try hard.
Yes, and I feel like especially versus Chasmac, it is really important to get your 3-stars in as quickly as possible in general in. Yeah. Because I feel like so far, even though they're just so good on offense, their defense somehow struggled quite a bit. They have received from most teams like 14 or even 13 stars. And, well, this means that you have to take advantage of that because their offense obviously is one of the best in the tournament. So you have to make sure that you're 3-starring their bases as well. And Yatta is coming in with his super bonus. And I have to say already, I'm a huge fan of this because his super bonus are incredible exciting to watch.
Absolutely. They can get so much value through the bases. He does have 1 jump spell as an investment. Typically, you'll use it after a series of wall breaks. So if he's able to wall break his way after the Eagle Artillery behind it, and then jump somewhere near that clan castle to the town hall, he basically has access to the whole base, other than that scatter shot off to the far right side, which you can invest the Royal Champion for, as these Super Bowlers need to keep their push through. But the key, pay attention to the healers. You have to have these healers transfer off this Warden exactly like that to the Super Bowlers to keep them pushing and healed up fully.
There's a super wall breaker moving in. The first one did not open the wall where he wanted to get. Next wall breaker is coming in, and that should open up the core to give all of those super bowlers access towards that tunnel, because he is not investing the log launcher. Instead, he is with the flame finger right now, and the jump spell is opening the entire base. Everything is working perfectly. The pathing is incredible on this one.
The Super Bowlers getting some skips onto a storage, which took out the other scatter shot on the left side. Was fantastic. Now with a freeze onto the Town Hall, these Super Bowlers are looking perfect and absolutely smashing this base. 1, 2, 3. Itsu, there's a minute 20 left on this attack. Absolutely insane. Yeah, we did lose Super Bowlers here, but they got the value, and now it's just his heroes to clean up.
Yes, and this really truly shows how strong Super Bowlers can be if they are in the right hand. And I mean, I would love to see them more often in those pro matches. It's kind of sad that we don't see them that often. I would love to know why, because take a look at that. He just demolished this base, and most of those teams at this point are recycling their bases. We have seen this base already quite a few times, and this was the base where Gaku from Navi has failed versus it. And I mean, Yatta just made it look like it's a low legend trophy base and like whatnot. So really good attack right there, and showing the true power of the bowlers.
So when it comes down to selecting your base, because you have some competitive experience, Itsu, when you choose to rerun a base, what are the criteria that need to be met to say, yes, we'll rerun this base, even though they could have watched it, seen it before, and know where some traps are?
I feel like at this stage, it's like everything is for the players just so hectic, everything, that you can't really watch the other matches and like remember every single trap. So I'm not sure how important it is that if you're rotating your bases, if you have like a couple of bases where you are really happy with, like you have tested a lot of different entries and they have defended those, then you're just running it again and go for the best, except like I think I would always not go for a fresh base which has maybe not tested as much. So I think overall doing that is a really wise choice, and so far it has worked out great for MILLESIME. I mean, they have done an incredible run on the lower bracket. They went down with the lower bracket since day one, since match one, and since then they're just keep going. So the defense so far is really impressive. Now the question is, can they turn this around on offense as well? Because this is what we have said. Chasmac EA so far incredible on offense, nearly always 13-14 stars, but getting around the same on the defense. So it's for MILLESIME important to stay close.
It is important. You gotta be right there to have your chance. It's gonna go back and forth. 3 building differential is the thing, because Tryhard did get that 97% 2-star as another Super Barbarian attack. MILLESIME with the Super Barbarians. This is what they've been liking here in the Clash Masters Gold. So let's see if Kingsman can bring the Queen charge. No recall spell, so starting off with that Queen, gonna let her go through, and we've got no blimp early. We've got a battle drill selected right now, Itsu.
Yeah, maybe where could he play the battle drill? Maybe onto the multi-inferno tower or something. I'm really not sure where he's trying to send it. Maybe going through the expo and stuff. But either way, right now he's already starting early on with his king, with his warden from the far right side, and having the battle drill selected means that they are having a really tough job ahead of them, because they need to push through this entire Eagle section. That's exactly where they're going to put the battle drill. Vulnerability early on. But take a look at that, Cauldron. The entire base is open. It feels like there's not one single closed compartment in this one.
Yeah, it's going to allow his troops to continue to walk right on through, as this Queen now will try to path her way to the Town Hall. But first, has to take out this defending clan castle. There's a poison spell. The balloon pulling a Seeking Airmine. Yeti's coming out of the battle drill. Now taking out the Eagle, taking out the defensive rate, and now the multi as well. But the king did go down. The handful more Super Barbarians to then send in towards that Miles and try to take it down.
Yeah, but the expo going down is super important. That is another baiting which is not on that Queen. Queen keep diving forward. There's going to be the Rise Tower going off anytime soon. And now we have the Super Barbarians going in. There's a lot of multitasking going on, as he has to go for the Town Hall. There's the visibility spell. Red mines are popping up as well. Royal Champion on that Monolith, but getting targeted by the Monolith as well.
Ooh.
Everything's happening at the same time.
It is. He's got a multitask as Super Barbarians coming to the right side. Royal Champion needs to make her way into the multi. Queen's ability through the defensive king as he got a party wizard and one more rage to use. Decides to invest it on his queen to keep her going. Sends that balloon into the multi-target in front of the Royal Champion. Does take the multi just down. And now it's a matter of cleanup with 40 seconds remaining.
Oh, 40 seconds, and then one Bitterheart in the middle has to go down as well with the Royal Champion dodging it. Is the Bitterheart going down? No. Can the Royal Champion, though, take it out? The Wizard, and he's already celebrating, kind of spoiling us for us, but 25 seconds is by far enough to take down this building. And there we go, Millesime on the board with their first 3-shot, and what an attack this was.
Brilliant. A queen charge, Super Barbarians, but not using the blimp. This is a different version to use, and it only works, it seems, when it's all open walls. You know, those open walls are there to distract wall breakers, but it's not distracting Super Barbs. We have found the counter to those base designs finally, when it's been such a struggle to try to get those queens charging in, or even when you try to use a log launcher. There's open walls causing your troops to run left, to run right. You don't know where exactly they're going to go in. Well, this is the perfect attack against those bases. So I'm definitely going to have to be practicing this.
Yeah, and I feel like the reason is that what is the biggest problem with those open walls? That you cannot control your heroes. But what is a really good troop to control your heroes? Well, Super Barbarians, because they're funneling anything. Like Sneaky Goblins would go for storages, for collectors and stuff. But, well, with the Super Barbarians, you can funnel anything and just make sure that the heroes are getting forced into those gaps in the walls. And with that being said, I think he has not invested a single Super Wall Breaker. And considering how close that was, imagine that he had to wall break for every single wall he was going through for his queen. That would have been a completely different story. But hey, it's the day of it's the tournament of Super Barbarians. We're having more Super Barbarians are coming in, and this time around it's going to be a Super Archer blimp or a Super Minion blimp.
Yeah, it's going to be something with this blimp trying to get just a single clone we got in here, pulling out the CC. It lands, and it is... Oh, we got a Super Wizard in there as well because of the chain from the Super Wizards, which can be very nice. And then the Super Archer gonna help grab the Town Hall. Okay, hang on. Let's count how many Super Troops we got here. We got a Super Barbarian. We got a Super Wizard. We got a Super Archer. We got a Super Wall Breaker. We got 4 different Super Troops in this attack so far. That's crazy.
And the Warden is still alive, so I keep going forward.
Wow.
With no air defense left there as they keep going. The only problem which he has right now is that the Eagle did not go down. Or maybe, wait a second.
Oh!
Can the Eagle somehow go down? Maybe has to invest, I don't know, like he can't really put anything there. Minion would not take it, maybe a Minion would take it down. But the Warden for now is locked onto the King.
What if he made Tesla's pop.
Yeah, this Eagle is staying alive for way too long. But let's see, maybe he can still do it.
Yeah, he's got the Golem down south, which can help a lot with the King ability. Now going off, can path his way into the multi-target Inferno, and this is where the wall breaks. Because these are some closed-off compartments to allow him to break in, right? Because when you have all open compartments everywhere, then you don't need these wall breaks. So he's forced to invest some of the housing space to open these walls, which perfectly targets it. As we got an Ice Golem with the Royal Champion now down, and he's got so many troops still alive. Jeez.
Yeah, there's just so many troops left alive on this one. Queen ability has to be forced. Royal Champion joining as well in that compartment. And with the Super Barbarians on the back end, with the Headhunters dealing with that defending King, and more Barbarians are getting put in. I mean, he has 10 Super Barbarians. Okay, at this point, 9 Super Barbarians left. And the base is already done. This is just smashed.
This, I guarantee you, we're going to see so much more of this. And look at all the spell swag and more Super Barbs that he didn't even use. Absolutely insane. So, Itsu, we've seen a handful of Super Troops. Obviously, the ones we haven't seen, like Super Valkyries, I don't think we're going to see that because the rage that comes from it. But when I am curious, you've talked about Super Giants before. So some troops, like the Super Giants and Super Witches, we haven't seen those at all. What do you think it would take in order to see more of those? Or do you think those troops require a very specific base design? or it's just the super barbs. It's just, you know, why go super witches when you could just do this super barb attack and it's just way more successful.
I feel like one change would be needed is either have 3 super troops available in the same army, or make the current super wall breakers base kit. I mean, no one is using regular wall break. Okay, maybe except Kingsman, I think, did it earlier, but pretty much no one otherwise is using regular wall breakers. So turn the super wall break into the normal wall break or something like that. And then you have actually access to more super troops, because I feel like every army is using in some way the super wall break. It is removing a lot of variety then with the super troops. So maybe that change would help, but otherwise, right now I feel like, well, the super barbarians, they're smashing bases left and right.
They are indeed. We got to take our notes. We got to practice it because the pros are showing exactly how to do it. This is how we learn to use these attack strategies, is from them. They save it for these moments. They save it for these tournaments, and then they bring it full force. And of course, when day 1 is complete, the pros rewatch what's going on with the streams, the bases, and everything. They see those attacks, and then they spend hours then practicing if they haven't already, so that they can bring it for day 2, because they are so good. They can learn within literally just watching it. They can learn it and then bring it in their very next attack. So you have to be very careful when you try to bring your attack. Maybe do you save your most specialized attack for the grand finals, because then they can't really copy it at that point? But you know, you got to use it early enough so you can even get to that point.
Yeah, I feel like with how good the teams are, they cannot save it for too long. Like, even if you're dropping to the lower bracket, I don't think that should be the moment where you're starting it. I think Strat overall did a solid thing where they have done it really early on.
Oh,
and something we're seeing early on as well is Cynthia with another Skelly donut for the Town Hall. And even for the Clan Castle. Is it working though? Yes? No?
Oh, what?
Wow. That was
He
close.
gets the Clan Castle. The Town Hall gets destroyed. And there's just a little bit of a delay that the Clan Castle was able to go down. If the Town Hall explodes instantly and does the damage, then those skeletons would not have been able to remove that Clan Castle. He does it yet again, and he continues to bring the Skelly donut, removing the Town Hall, the Clan Castle, with even some builder huts near the Town Hall.
I mean, at this point, the question is even anyone attempting to try to copy this? Because it just feels like so incredibly risky, because one misplaced invisibility and you're done. But at the same time right now, this is looking really good for Cynthia with how open this space is. I mean, they can just leave and join the compartments as they want. The Queen now being stuck right now in the middle, but he has the Warden ability left. The first question is, when is he going to use that?
He still has a Warden. That is insane now. Like, there's nothing left, especially with a Warden ability and a King ability that if the Warden goes to follow him, doesn't look like he will at the moment. It's going to take him some time to catch up. But this is absolutely smashed here by Cynthia.
The Warden could use now perfect Warden ability. That's exactly where he does it. The Queen is now inside that core. She has still the ability left, but she's running now and following the other heroes. And he has 10 super barbarians for this back end. But wait a second, this Scattershot compartment is closed, so that might be an issue for him.
Yeah, the World Champion will have to use her ability as he continues his way through. RC ability skips. Ice Golem goes off. Took out the defensive Queen. Wait, did I speak too soon here? Hold on. The closed compartment here is going to cause some issues here for Cynthia. Oh no, the monolith. He can't get into it. Wait, because of the closed compartment, it is open to the bottom side, but the Queen never walked there. I'm assuming he was probably hoping the Queen to walk into that compartment to take that down, and she walked right, and it's a 2-star. I guess, did I jinx it?
Maybe, who knows, but I feel like the Queen just one tile more to the left where she went through the wall. She would have opened the monolith compartment. With her ability, she could have actually taken that out. So it was one wall piece off, which made all the difference. Otherwise, would have 3-starred this base. So really unfortunate by Cynthia. But, well, this now gives Chasmac the opportunity to really push ahead of this one, as MILLESIME really seem to have a problem versus those bases of Chasmac Gaming.
So it shows you that in a super barbarian attack like this, that the Warden ability is not necessarily as important, right? The Warden ability used for the blimp is very important to get the blimp where it needs to, but the Warden ability where it's protecting super barbarians is not necessarily as strong as you may think, as we saw from Cynthia not able to push his way through. But Itsu, again, it's the super barbarians. That's the meta, as we've got tons of Raccoons, and he does not want to invest the Warden ability here. Okay, what I was just saying, it was not as so you could invest on the blip. He says, you know what? I'm just going to go Raccoons to try to protect and double clone super archers to really clear this base up.
Carbon, do you know what I'm most excited for? It's just the stats at the end of the tournament from Chase the Ace, and see how many times we have seen Super Barbarians on this weekend. Somehow, from the last golden ticket to this one, it changed from like 40% to lalo attacks to now 40% Super Barbarians. Like
even more, I would say more.
It could be possibly more. I would love to see that. I really hope that he is pushing those stats out again, because that would be crazy to know how many Super Barbarian attacks we have seen over this weekend, because this is just, they just came out of nowhere, at least for us as like spectators and like not really being inside the pro teams and like knowing what they're talking about and stuff. But that is really, really exciting.
Yeah, with this smash now coming around the base, the biggest question is time. You have to be careful. And this Frosty with the Frost Mites jumping over the wall, hitting that monolith, taking it down, slowing it down, which is also so helpful to push your way through. And we got regular wall breakers. Who needs super wall breakers when he's got rocket looms? He can't take the super wall breaker through as he continues his path around. King ability going off as that EU artillery shots are still raining down.
Yeah, really unfortunate that the Warden is not following right now. He cannot really use the vulnerability for the spawn Barbarians, which is unfortunate. But what he can do is use the vulnerability for the Royal Champion now in just a second as this Rage Tower goes off. Nice timing, protecting the Queen and the Royal Champion versus all of the damage. And it is reinforcing everything from the outside with the Super Barbarians. But Carbon, with the Royal Champion on the back end on defense, do you think his own heroes are going to make this?
Well, with the abilities, I would say yes. The ability should be enough. Taking out the multi, taking out the Wizard Tower, which is like one hit. The cannon's going to go down, and the Queen will help finish her off. And there you go. We've got another triple coming in for Chasmac Gaming EA. Even though they get pushed to the lower bracket, they are looking to bounce right back to get the revenge against Repotted.
That's just crazy. That Paper Dragon is either, I don't know, having a nice time, a great time, or like the worst time of its life. But either way, it is a 3-star, and this means Chasmac Gaming EA is being 3 out of 3. They really want to have this revenge versus Reported Gaming and trying to push them to the limits for this golden ticket.
They are up by 2 stars. We saw Tryhard coming in with a 97% 2-star. We saw then Cynthia coming in with a 90+% in the 90s. So that's 2 fails from them, which is really going to hurt, especially since Chasmac EA are coming in with 3-star after 3-star after 3-star, and it's super barbarians everywhere in these attacks. So really, when it comes to the next tournament or things to come, or even, well, for the final team, Repotted is going to have to look to defend the super barbs. How do you do it? Just close your walls?
I mean, that would for sure defend it. I mean, you cannot do it on the fly now, as your base would have a cooldown otherwise. But just for future tournaments, that would be interesting to see how those pros are adapting to the Super Barbarians, and if there is actually, if it is as easy as I'm assuming with the closed compartments, or if this is actually not doing anything whatsoever. But we have the next attack in, we have Amiola in, and we're getting back to normal, because we have a lalo.
Yeah, normal, right? We're so used to seeing the lalo being everywhere, but the Super Barbarians took over. I remember when the Super Dragons first came out, they were everywhere. And it kind of comes in a wave of different metas, but lalo always, no matter what, stays at the top. And is that going to be the case now that the Super Barbarian meta has been discovered? As it looks like Abu Allah wants to charge this Queen towards that Town Hall, but Remember, there are no healers on this queen, so it doesn't look like he wants that queen to secure the town hall at this point.
Yes, with those couple of rocket loons, he's getting that expo out. Now the blimp for the town hall, he's going against the sweeper, but there seem to be no traps whatsoever. The Royal Champ and the King got that scatter out of the way. No! I think the Eagle shots took actually down the Royal Champ. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, we have the Lalo now starting from the far right side, but there's a lot of base left, and that Monolith on the back end is going to be an issue.
It is, as the Headhunters do now run off to the Warden, so he's forced to drop that freeze. It looks like onto nothing, but no, it's on Headhunters to protect the Warden from getting hit by him and forcing an early Warden ability as he pops it now. But the Headhunters, only one of them was clipped in the Warden Eternal Tome, which is trying to go for the enemy world champion. I don't think it's going to be enough to take her down in time. No!
Oh, no. But more loons are swarming the base, but with this rage up back and multi-time tower, they're just dropping like flies. The Royal Champion staying alive as well, as you said. It is, well, it's just going downhill from this point for MILLESIME. They just cannot overtake those bases of Chasmac EA, and I have not said anything. I mean, the bases somehow defend incredible for Chasmac at this stage, and I mean, their offensive showcase is just on a different level.
It is. They are on a different level indeed. And is chat gonna get their third win in terms of a prediction? Oh my, because I believe they also chose Chasmac EA as the minions are clearing the bottom side, but they work their way all the way through the bottom bracket, losing the very first match, going all the way here, and then Chasmac EA wants to bounce straight back and get the revenge against Repotted. And this is the brilliant thing now, since all three of these teams remaining, none of them have a golden ticket, which means that they have to fight out for the golden ticket in that final grand final match. If Repotted wins, they get it, it's done. But Chasmac EA must force a bracket reset in order to try to win it. So essentially, you have to beat Repotted 2 times in a row to get that golden ticket. It's going to be difficult, but it's possible.
It's going to be really difficult. I mean, beating Repotted twice. If there is a team at the moment in this tournament out there which is capable of doing that, it is for sure Chasmac. Yeah, I feel like they have done incredible over this tournament. I mean, stats-wise, I think they're at the top of every chart possible. But, well, now for them at this stage, even though this match looks really good already, for them it's just all about building up the momentum. Because remember, they are now playing the match right before the finals. And let's imagine they're getting up to 14, maybe even more stars, depending on how the next 2 attacks go. They're building up a lot of momentum, a lot of motivation going to the last final match where, well, Repotted still have to, like, probably cool down from the heart attack they had during that match earlier versus Chasmac EA. But next attack is in, and we see another Lalo attack from Kuma with some lightnings.
With the Zap Lalo, 27 balloons to use. As a few minions off already down to the right side. How is Arium's base going to defend? I love this scenery. It's so nice. And you got to use your CWL medals in order to unlock it yourself. But we have that queen all the way to the top side. And the king is going to path his way in towards this eagle artillery. Taking his time, and there's... Oh, we got a log launcher joined in here. And no warden, it looks like, because you want to save that warden for the town hall, because that log launcher, that will definitely not make it to town hall.
Yeah, I think like that's the classic setup where you just try to die for value, which those loons are going to struggle with on the opposite side, which is typically the scatter shots, for example. And that's exactly what he's trying to do right now with his heroes, with his Royal Champion getting added as well in the mix. And then he's going to play the Lalo into that tunnel compartment as the sweepers are pointing into the other direction. But the clan cars right now dealing a lot of damage, and we have seen some of those Zap Lalo attacks getting messed up completely because nothing ever took down those super minions.